And welcome back to another episode of the Convoluted podcast. It's your host, Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, and I'm here with Liz.
Hey.
And if it's your first time listening or watching, you can always follow or subscribe. It's free, and you can always unfollow and unsubscribe. How are you doing, Liz, while you're trapped in your home for this past weekend?
I'm doing alright. Work has been a little crazy. Just getting back from being on nights to days again. So, you know, that transition's always hard.
Yep, you are now, you're living my life now. Except you, well.
Oh yeah, I'll be doing it again next month. That'll be fun.
Yay!
I
wait.
love to have my supervisor goes, hey, Liz, can you do these nights? And he's like, oh man, I got 2 of those nights because I believe the technician's taking almost a full week off, and he's got 2, another one has 1, and I have 4 of them, so pretty much the whole week. And I looked over at him and I'm like, oh, you're complaining about your 2 nights and I'll be doing 4 nights? Do you want to switch? Do you want to split it up? I mean I'm willing. He's like, I'm like, yeah, don't even bitch about your 2 nights compared to you have at least more time to recover. I will have like 2 days to recover and then come back to a day and then get off again. So, hush.
No.
Okay.
Don't say nothing.
And look at that
Otherwise,
shit.
I'm okay. Struggles at work, but you know, it is what it is.
Yep, work is work, sadly. Sometimes you have to struggle, and other days there could be good days. But yeah, I'm joking halfway through that we're kind of stuck indoors. We don't have it as bad as some other parts of the country in the United States, you know, but some people around us make it seem like it's the end of the world when there's like a couple inches of snow.
Because it's Oregonians, hello.
So, fortunately, we're gonna be at least cozy in our nice warm outfits for today and just kind of hang out and just, you know, enjoy, quote, a snow day. It hasn't been feeling like winter, even though it's been winter, at least in our part of our little part of Oregon.
Has a little bit. I mean, granted, it's rained for us most of the time, and it has been cold, but not super cold. So I can be thankful for that. But yeah, it definitely took a plummet after the new year.
Definitely. So, you would think like, oh, the year of recovery. No, you know, you're going to still get beaten down a little bit by Mother Nature. Mm-hmm. But, you know, at least
Mother Nature will do her part.
But luckily for us, at least you and me, we are going to be indoors a little bit and enjoying the solace of home for a bit. But yeah, that's fun. But yeah, if you guys want to be cozy up, you can always get some of our merch at merch.tyrantdominus.com. Get some cozy merch and stay warm, or look nice, you know, and support the show as much as you can. If you don't want to, you want to do something that is free and still benefits helping us, you can always share the podcast on all social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, you know, Facebook. I always forget Facebook, but if we get some Facebook people to join us. It's like I've been posting on. I haven't properly used Facebook in a very long time, like personally, but I do use our Facebook page account, and I do kind of just share on my timeline. I don't know if anyone even sees my timeline anymore, because.
Occasionally from time to time, but not often enough sometimes. But I'm not on Facebook streaming a lot. I've been on Insta a little bit more.
You know, yeah. And before, I want to talk to you a little about that. But yeah, and if you want the best way, word of mouth. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a random strangers on the street. Just let them know about the show, just because that really helps us out. We've been growing little by little. Me and Liz the other day went over our stats for the year. We really appreciate the growth and appreciation not only on podcast platforms but on YouTube. But yeah, thank you. But yeah, to kind of just start a little bit, yeah, you were, if we go back a couple episodes, not a couple, a few, like a year or two episodes, you're really anti social media. I know I'm a little.
I feel like
I know I'm a little to blame to kind of give you into that drug of TikTok. But you somehow started using Instagram. What kind of got you using I know like Instagram wasn't really your cup of tea, and I think the only time I told you to get on it was to kind of just change your tag just to make it easier for Facebook, because Facebook and Instagram are integrated. But what got you kind of into the Instagram like game basically?
I kind of like it all because it's a little bit like a Pinterest, TikTok.
Oh my god, I haven't heard
a little mishmash.
I haven't heard Pinterest in forever.
But I still use Pinterest. Unfortunately, because I can't come up with some great gluten-free recipes without Pinterest. So Pinterest is my foundation. So I can take some original recipes and manipulate them a little bit because I can. There are things because gluten-free has come along.
Not a single fuck was given this day.
The beginning years of my stages were like, oh, what can I not have? And how do I change ratios on flours and stuff like that? But now that it's gotten better because there is more of a 1-to-1 ratio out there. So that helps benefit. So I can look at recipes and look at that. So I've been looking at Insta a little bit more because it kind of gives me like my Pinterest like ideas of like what meals we could prepare, since we are now down to like one counter space and just an oven and a stove.
Yes, I finally got to see Liz's place, and it's better than I thought, but worse than I was expecting. I think that's the best way I can explain it. Because you can tell someone so much, and you can kind of share photos to an extent, but when you have it like in your face, like goddamn, because it could have got worse too. Yeah, from what we were talking about that day, you guys lucked out a little bit, but yeah, you've been on that social media game a little bit, not posting, but you've been using it, which, you know, I'm not attacking you for this. Like, I know we've joked about the overuse of social media, but you know, there are moments where you can just take like if you use it sparingly, just to kind of like kill a few minutes, just to scroll.
Usually what it is, it's usually a few minutes. Like it's about 15 minutes a day. It's not always consistently in one spot, but you know,
as long as
and have fun with it, because I can find some funny videos, send them off to my friends, and then or funny memes or great recipes between my sister and I, because we go back and forth, and she goes, "Oh, I found this on Insta. Here's this recipe." Now she just sends it directly to me, and we go back and forth on this recipe. So, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. Oh, maybe we could try this recipe, or we could change this recipe a little bit to what we're doing with our current diets right now. Like, I think my sister, because of what's gone on her husband's side of the family, they're kind of tweaking it to more heart friendly, and I tweak mine to be a little bit gluten free and stuff like that. So we tweak things a little bit on our ends to be like, oh, we could take this meal and do this part of it, or that meal and do this part of the meal. And so it's kind of fun. And we're like, oh, we experiment with it too, or when she comes to town, we try these new recipes and see how we like them, and say, oh yeah, well, this is what I would do the next time around with this recipe. This is what I would, So it's kind of fun. I have been enjoying a little bit. It's more of a fun break for me, and between one of my other besties out there, who she is. We go back and forth with some funny memes, and inappropriate but hilarious all the same time.
Yeah, I think that's the healthiest way to use social media for the most part, as far as these like things. You kind of just use it sparingly, use it for certain purposes and to kind of goof around when you're kind of at that point, like my brother, who's on it for hours at a time. we call them out on it. Like there's only so much I can do. Even like me, I think I've been using it a little bit more recently. I think some people have saw me posting.
I saw you posting back at me, and I'm like, because I sent you some fun ones too. I know I have.
So, I'm trying to be like, it's because it's one of my goals for this year is to be a little bit more, not social media present. It's more use it more actively in the sense where, you know, we're trying to grow the show little by little. You know, we have fun with it, but we still want to, you know, we want to share it to as many people as we can. So I'm trying to use it to the best of my knowledge and still post some fun stuff. And you know, just see what people are using it for, because like there's a kind of a side story. This is not going to jump into something, because TikTok recently just added their TikTok shop portion, kind of like their own Amazon shopping thing. And the past couple days when I've been on TikTok, it's just been nothing but people using it as like posting for ads. Like, I bought this item.
Yeah, it has been.
And
it has been very frustrating. I think that's why I kind of strayed away. I mean, I still watch a couple of my people that I watch and I follow that I really enjoy watching, but I make sure I just go straight to their stream, because
the follows.
At that point, I'm so done.
Yeah, the follows. Yeah. I'm tempted to do that a little bit, because they have the friends tab, the follows tab, and the just for you, and now there's like the shop tab. And I generally was enjoying the for you a little bit, just to give you a little like variety, which I kind of enjoy, just to see like what is TikTok giving us today. And I've been getting some fun ones, some like yourself, some fun recipes, and like, ooh, that looks delicious. I was in like food TikTok for like a couple days. Now my band is getting me hungry. This is not the good way to start the prep for 2024. But then like an update to the food, not the shop talk. Call it that. And it's just like now, like almost every fifth is someone promoting a shop item. I'm like I just gotta keep scrolling a little past that. And I've tried the non-interested things, but sometimes it's just like, it's the algorithm, you know. But that's kind of me just tangenting off as far as like social media. Well, the interesting thing as far as that is like, will TikTok shop be a chance competitor for Amazon? Maybe not at the moment, but maybe in the future. Well, you know, who knows?
I mean, Instagram is just as bad too, so
true
sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't.
It's just, again, the algorithm, how it picks you.
Yeah, because you use Reels. I'm not a Reels kind of person. I'm when I go to my Instagram, for anyone wondering, I use Instagram for very few people who I follow, some family. It's kind of like what Facebook was for me, just for family and a few friends. But I use it mostly as DMs for certain people. Because I used to use Twitter, but Twitter/X is a hot mess, and I'm never going to touch that with a 10-foot pole as far as talking about it. But Instagram for me is for communicating with people, contacting, messaging people, just because it's slightly easier, and people know kind of who I am at that point. And yeah, I use it more kind of like how we use Discord. It's just a messenger app, because I know a lot of people don't use that, because nowadays sometimes people don't even give you their phone numbers. It's like, oh, here's my Snapchat, here's my Insta, which is fine. I think sometimes it's like better than giving your phone number. But yeah, but besides that topic, it's just like I use Instagram for just scrolling through photos, kind of posting for the shows and maybe what I'm doing, or posting when podcasts go live and things like that. So I think that's how I use it. And I like post Reels. So for anyone like you do Reels, I know I do Reels, but I don't go on Reels. Maybe I should check it out to see what's on Reels, because a lot of the times when TikTok was popping off and I was starting to use TikTok, when I went to go check Instagram Reels, sometimes it was just re-uploaded TikToks. And I'm like, I was doing the same. I'm not gonna lie, I was doing the same thing. I was re-uploading my TikToks onto my Reels. I am a culprit of that as well. I'm not gonna deny that. Okay. but it's just easier. It's just easier because it's the same short form, long form media, not long form, but phone media. So, but that's the end. What I'm saying is I'm gonna roast Liz for being on so much social media in the recent days.
And who got me on it?
Okay, so
That guy.
Okay, so I accidentally gave Liz a little too much of that drug. But
it's all his fault. It's all his fault. At least, but Instagram has definitely given me some ideas of what I want to do with when I take my wonderful trip abroad, and it's definitely given me some ideas of what I want to do when I have some free time. Now, I plan on doing some more hiking and doing some fun stuff and enjoying myself a little bit more. So it's giving me some ideas. I like it.
Nice. All right. Before we get to the main actual stories, if you want to join me and some of our friends of the show, we've recently, like I said, I was starting a live stream. We did some impromptu live streams the day before. Here's a little clip. We're good.
Oh my god, it's coming downstairs. Oh my god, Jesus, you're
There's an exit. There's an exit. There's an exit. Come on. Come downstairs. Come downstairs.
I'm coming. I scared.
There's a door here.
Jeez, hurry up, it's coming.
Look, close the door. Close the door. Okay, we just gotta find an exit.
You said there was an exit down here.
I thought it was.
Jesus, did we just trap ourselves in here? Jesus. We're the only ones with the flashlight.
Is it there?
It's up there. You can hear it. It's up there. I'm gonna go check. Jesus, out. Jeez.
Behind.
No, shit.
Run. Close the door. So yeah, you can see we were having a little fun. You can go follow us there. There should be a link down below at twitch.tv Tyrant_Dominus. There should have been a link in a QR code, and yeah, it's fun. I don't know if Liz caught a little of that. It was pretty late, but
yeah, I was watching my TV by the time you got to it. I was ready to check out for the day.
Nah, it's fine.
After a couple of years.
Hey, yeah, we were drinking
and my homemade gluten-free pizza.
Like we were doing the same thing, just having some brews and having fun with everyone, and it was impromptu. It's one of those things like I'm prepping for the year. I did a prep stream too the day before, to kind of like get ready for, like we mentioned earlier, we're prepping for 2024. I was prepping stuff for my top 5 shows and movies of 2023. Those are getting done. They should be out by the end of the month, or what's today? Probably by, I'm gonna say sometime the end of next when this gets released, the end of this week or the beginning of next week. So that's roughly when those should come out. So you can kind of grill me to see what if my top 5 are right or wrong, but they are my opinion. And then just prepping some stuff for the show a little bit, just to kind of get ready. Me and Liz have already scheduled ourselves out for the next couple weeks, so we know, like, okay, as much as like we want to just hop on and just like shoot the shit. It takes a little bit of planning, so we're not all over the place. It sounds like we're all over the place. This is us planning. Imagine if we're not.
That's called us convoluted for a reason.
But yeah, look forward. We're getting some stuff ready for you guys. Like we were not joking. I know we've been saying it a lot last year, but we're not joking. I think this year is going to be the year. A lot of things are going to get done. But yeah. All right, let's start with I'm grilling Liz, but I'm gonna keep grilling Liz. I'm gonna grill her about her parenting a little bit.
Oh, really now?
Or actually, what is the name of this gentleman? So Eric Adams is a person who is going to teach us how to. Oh no, my God. He's gonna teach us how to search a child's room. Okay.
Really, New York's weirdest guy. Yeah, but.
All right. So Liz is gonna watch it on her thing. I'm gonna play the audio for us.
You can look at a jewelry box. A jewelry box of this nature, maybe a simple jewelry box, but if you look through it closely, you don't know what your child may be hiding. For instance, a gun.
In a jewelry box, the guy finds a gun.
Look at picture frames and behind them, cameras. Try to determine what's taking place. Behind a picture frame, you can find bullets. You should
Behind a picture frame, bullets.
always, when your child brings in his popular knapsack with many different locations, look through it to see what exactly is your child carrying in addition to a book. Something simple as a crack pipe.
Crack pipe,
Something
yes.
simple as a baby doll. Could be just a baby doll, but also it could be a place where you can secrete or hide drugs. Run your hands
Baby
over
doll,
the pillows
okay.
and see if you feel anything that's unusual. Like a pillow like this where the button is a perfect invitation to hide something. And I felt something bumpy. I would reach in, see what it is. Just look and see what's
gun.
inside your bookcases. It could be more than just books. Perfect place to hide cocaine.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my word.
All right, Liz. I think it's time that you need to do a room check for your daughter, for Mel, and see.
Oh, my
you never
word.
know. You might find some bullets, a crack pipe.
A crack pipe, some weed. Oh, my God. The way my kid cleans that room, I doubt that it will be possible, but okay. I break into all of our figurines.
You gotta check everything.
I mean, they got like boxes of figurines everywhere. Like, I might be hiding something in there.
You never know. You might feel something
Oh,
bubbling.
it's behind the figurine.
You gotta shake it. There might be something in there. This guy,
It's a gun. He reaches out and pulls a couple guns. I'm like, how does my kid have access to guns? This person never leaves the room.
it's
Never
wild.
leaves the house.
It's one of the things where people put these public announcements, and I'm like, "Who? Did no one stop you?" Because someone had to edit that and like record it. It's like it looks professionally
I
recorded.
don't know how that guy even did it with a straight face, to tell you the truth. I was laughing the whole entire time. I'm like, if it was me doing that show, I gotta be like, yeah, I'm gonna pull out this gun.
Now we won't deny, as kids we used to hide things from our parents, like little things and nooks and crannies. We've done that, but
Yeah, but it was stupid stuff. It wasn't like obscene shit like this.
and I also won't deny that it's not impossible. People do this for different circumstances, but there to kind of give it as a general thing, like not every kid is going to be on that level. It's wild. And then so many people were in the comments and stuff like that. Actually, I didn't read the comments. This is okay. There's one saying, "This is so much cocaine for your kid to have in their room, like a little baggie." Let's see what else is there. He calls the candles cameras. Candle cameras. Why are there cameras facing? That is hard to believe this is real and not an SNL skit from the late 90s. True.
It does feel like that. Feel that vibe really hard.
If this kid is secreting drugs onto dolls, I don't want to know about it.
Why they have a doll anyways in general at that age.
God, the comments just go wild from there, and it is interesting. I'm not gonna lie, it is interesting. Because I get it. We are in those moments where people are the best way to put it. You just never know anymore. We don't know anymore, but we know too much sometimes. It's a mix. It's like you know something's happening, and some people just don't want to know, don't want to hide it, just ignore it. But then once you're hit with reality, it's like, oh, how are you gonna handle that? But yeah, it's and then you have people who are like shoving it in your face, right?
Yeah.
So
it's one extreme to the next extreme. There's no in between. It's just straight to extremes.
Okay, talking about extremes, let's talk about the Florida man.
Oh yes. Florida man sues Dunkin after exploding toilet leaves him covered in poo.
Ooh, when was the last time you had Dunkins?
Again, it's one of those things. I can't have the dairy and Dunkin'. I can't have
and I'm gonna keep
the donuts in general.
And I'm gonna keep shoving it in your face to the ends of time.
I know. I'm screwed with you.
Stuck with me till the ends of time.
A Florida man is suing Dunkin' Donuts for $100,000 after he was reported injured by exploding toilet in the popular coffee chain. Dunkin's, formerly known as Dunkin' Donuts, is prominent American coffee chain that gone viral for its recent collaborations with high-profile celebrities and influencers like rapper Ice Spice and TikTok star Charli D'Amelio.
We talked about Charli D'Amelio. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. However, one Dunkin' location in Central Florida is seeing an explosive surge in attention after a male customer experienced an unfortunate incident in its bathroom. Paul Carrack is seeking $100,000 in damages after he claims a Dunkin' toilet in Florida Winter Park exploded on him a year ago, causing severe and long-term injuries.
Ooh, that does not sound fun.
Not a single fuck was
According
given
to
this
reports on
day.
ABC News, the explosion covered Paul in all manner of human feces, urine, and debris. Paul says he sought help for store staff after the alleged explosion, with one employee claiming they were aware of the issue with the toilet prior to the ordeal. Paul is now looking to sue the location for negligence in a lawsuit filed on Wednesday, January 3rd, a year after the situation initially took place. While the lawsuit obtained in ABC News didn't contain many details about the explosion, it does state that Paul suffered bodily injury and is requesting both counseling and mental health care as a result of the incident. This is far from the latest crappy ordeal to go viral as of late. In September 2023, a plane was forced to make an emergency landing after a passenger suffered from what was described as the pilot as biohazard diarrhea that dribbled down the aisles of the craft, causing a major stink.
Ugh.
I love this author, though. That gets me funny. I love the puns. It almost sounds like my Walmart guy that I had posted too.
But yeah, it's wild that when one moment you're just like going in, grabbing a coffee and donut, and then next moment you are up the river and through the woods,
With chunks and pieces too.
And the thing is, like, sometimes, like, the lawsuit, the settlement that might come from it, it's like, is the suffering you're gonna deal with, is it? But I don't know how much mental suffering, being the person known as the guy being covered in poop. But it is a Florida man. It is a Florida man. But
Florida man.
It's God, I don't know. How would you feel if this was you?
I'd be so disgusted. Ugh. Like, to get any of your orifices too, like, you don't know what is all in people's excrement. Definitely is definitely a biohazard. Definitely. Yeah, I'd be traumatized for sure. Like, I'm never going into a different toilet unless it's my own home toilet again.
Same. It's just, Yeah, it's just like I can't foresee myself in that situation. But yeah, talking about there's a little bit of a crossover. Let's continue with that. So a Texas man is suing Walmart and is seeking 100 million or unlimited free lifetime shopping. God, you can do so much shopping at Walmart. So,
know, right?
so what happened here? A Texas man is suing Walmart and is seeking 100 million in damages or unlimited free lifetime shopping at any location. Riddick Johnson of Watscom? Yeah, Watscom, Texas.
Watscom?
Yeah. Filed 2 handwritten complaints Monday in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Arkansas, Walmart headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas. The complaint did not go into detail about why Jackson is suing. Okay, that is weird. The complaints allege that the incident occurred in March 2021 at a store in Omaha, Nebraska, and involved false pretense of shoplifting and the violation of Jackson's civil rights, and based on race/color. Jackson is also asking that Walmart pay all of his court fees. He filed the complaint without any attorney and could not be reached at the phone number listed for him. Oh my God. Some people are just wild with lawsuits. A spokesperson for Walmart said Thursday that it does not tolerate discrimination of any kind. Mr. Jackson alleges that are almost identical to the lawsuit filed against our company in 2021 that was dismissed. We intend to defend our company against any allegations once it has been properly served, and will quickly ask the court to dismiss any claims that are without merit. That's fair. You got to defend your company as much as it's Walmart. Let's see. In 2021, Jackson and Jackson sued Walmart over the same alleged incident, and he wrote in that complaint that he was racially profiled and falsely accused of the crime, which led to his being arrested. According to the complaint, Jackson suffered emotional stress, pain from the handcuffs. The complaint did not name the police department. He initially sought 100 million and a huge credit for the future shopping, but later amended the complaint and asking for 170 million in damages. The case was dismissed the year before he failed to properly serve Walmart. This is just a deranged person.
I get it. I get what he's coming from, but at the same time, like, this is ludicrous. Without merit. Yeah, no representation. Yeah, like, dumbass. Nobody's gonna represent you.
It's one of those things when we get into these kinds of stories where people are suing for outrageous things. Sometimes there are some legitimacy to them, but sometimes there's just some crazy like doing the thing. Was there potentially a chance for it to be racial? Maybe. You never know these days. But it's when people don't take the time to use the process. It's just wild. This guy just hand wrote like complaints, and it's not gonna work. Like, you're fighting against Walmart, like big,
who has a million lawyers lined up to go. Like, and you're one person, buddy, and you have a team of one. You're not gonna get far.
And then the outrageous amount of damages. Like, we've read stories and talked about stories that have these crazy amounts. I won't deny that. But sometimes things can get a little obscene. Hey, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna sue a hospital for $1 billion because they like sprayed my pinky. Like this, the doctor and the nurse accidentally fell on my pinky. I'm suing you guys for $1 million. That's how much is $1 billion. $1 billion. $1 million is too low. Actually, $1 million. That's how much it's gonna cost me in American insurance to fix that pinky. $1 million. So I need $1 billion. All this stress and stuff. Oh God.
It's not like the debt of America is not $34 million, so $1 trillion. Excuse me. We're good.
It just, I like talking about these stories because it's it is one of those things where it's we don't sometimes we don't read the articles just to kind of get a little glimpse to actually read it. At least I don't know about you, Liz.
I don't read them. I read the titles and say, is it worthy enough to be on this podcast? Yes. And I post it and I don't even touch it after that.
Yeah, for the most part, we get lucky with stories and stuff. Like sometimes they're not that wholesome or they are very trigger happy, I would say. But it's one of those things we talk about them because they caught our interest. There have been a lot of stories that we decide not to talk about because of certain reasons. But yeah, these are the ones where it's like, what happened here? We got to know more. And I'm glad we did.
But we have to wait until the day of the podcast when we really relish in the true essence of it. And it's fresh out of the bag.
or to be more precise, fresh out of the box. So let's start about the next. I'm gonna send you a box. Send you a package, Liz.
No.
What is it gonna open? Tell me what's that box.
I'll come visit you.
No. Open the box.
Your place.
What's in the box, Liz?
No, I'm not opening the box.
What's in the box, Liz? Go for it. Read the article.
I'm sorry, my bad. eBay to pay $3 million after a former employee sent live insects and a bloody pig mask to harass a couple.
Yay!
It's like the new Amazon, except on the lethal side. eBay will pay a $3 million criminal penalty for a harassment campaign, including sending live cockroaches of a Massachusetts-based couple who ran a newsletter that was sometimes critical of the company. eBay was charged with 6 criminal offenses, including stalking, witness tampering, and obstruction of justice, after several of the company's employees sent disturbing packages to a home of Ina and David Steiner in 2019, including a bloody pig mask, a fetal pig, live insects, and a funeral wreath.
Ooh, that's crazy.
According to I know, right? I feel like Saw was in part of this.
You're right. It feels like it.
A bloody pig mask. Dun, 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 dun. According to Massachusetts U.S. Attorney's Office statement, the $3 million settlement announced Thursday is the statutory maximum fine for eBay's charges. The state's acting U.S. Attorney Joshua Levy called eBay's conduct absolutely horrific in the statement. The company's employees and contractors involved in the campaign put the victims through pure hell in a petrifying campaign aimed at silencing their reporting and protecting the eBay brand, Levy said. As a part of its settlement, eBay will be required to retain an independent corporate compliance monitor for 3 years and enhance its compliance program. In a Thursday statement on the company website, eBay CEO Jamie Ionan called the company's conduct in 2019 wrong and reprehensible. We continue to extend our deepest apologies to the Steiners for what they endured since these events occurred. A new leader has joined the company, and eBay has strengthened its policies, procedures, controls, and training, Ionan said. According to the U.S. Attorney's statement, eBay employees, including Jim Baugh, eBay's senior director of safety and security at the time, were frustrated with the tone of the Steiners newsletter, which aimed to provide information to eBay sellers. The intimidation campaign, which took place in August of 2019, sought to push the couple to change the content of the newsletter. The disturbing packages concluded, damn ad fuckers.
That's fine. I think we get the gist of it. I feel a little bit bad for Ina and David. They were just running a newsletter, just a kind of a opinion piece, right? In my thoughts, right? That's what I'm hearing from this article.
Yeah, everybody has right to a voice, right? The Second Amendment, basically, right? Second, third, I don't know.
First, freedom of speech is number.
Right to speech.
Yeah,
it's freedom of speech. Yeah, it's the first one. Come
on, Liz. Be an American, America.
Well, they say right now Ireland is trying to look for some extra people, so
potential move
are gonna get their people of descendants of Ireland, so anyone of your grandparents or great grandparents of Ireland can get citizenship. So, if that's being said, if a fortuitation of it all, I will be eventually a dual citizenship too.
All right.
Just by going down the line.
We're just gonna have, once you move to Ireland, we just gotta figure out the schedule. That's fun. But yeah, it kind of sucks because these guys were basically bullied in such a nasty way. Basically, like, and it started back in 2019. Ooh, just entering the pandemic. Oh god, that's horrible.
Just before the pandemic. Yeah. I just started my workplace about that time frame, so that is very interesting how that is happening.
Because yeah, if you think about it, it's pre-pandemic, but they were getting harassed constantly, so it was entering into the pandemic when people were shipping and stuff like that. And it's just like you can't technically escape it because you're stuck at home and things like that. And it's just so gruesome. It's like they're using bugs and spiders, and then they're using scare tactics. I'm kind of glad that they're facing, what was it, 6 criminal charges to some of these people. But it sounds like it wasn't just employees. It seems like it went all the way to the top. And that's what's so malicious about this, you know.
And it's almost peer pressure too, as if you don't do this, you lose your job essentially. And people obviously, you know, at the time of the pandemic, you know, you kind of relish in what you had for a job. So,
well, yeah, you know, some people probably like, oh, my boss is telling me to do this. You know, some people will like find pleasure in that too. The other thing is, it sucks that there were also, it sounds like, where was that in the article, that they released their private address and were putting their address online for potential sexual encounters and just like yard sales and stuff like that's doxing. That's doxing to a point, you know. And that can harm people in most of the way. We've read stories about doxing in the worst kind. Because you know there's some ones where people, oh, I'm just gonna buy a pizza and send it to someone, right? But then there's ones where some people, there's one less person in that household. But so what's happening to some of these people? So the ringleader is sentenced to 57 months in prison. That's good. 56, 5 years, roughly.
Just roughly about almost 5 years. Yeah, just a little shy of 5 years.
So some of my thoughts on this a little bit is like, I know, you know, eBay's like kind of reprehensible harassment campaign against Ian and David. It's disturbing, you know, and it does have some significant legal and ethical consequences for for eBay. The 3 million penalty and the requirement that corporate is very.
Yeah.
You know, it's I
don't know if that's enough for the damages for that signers and, you know, insured. I think it's a little bit more costly for the mental health, for the harassment, and the years it went on.
So yeah, I think at the end of the day, this case in particular underscores the critical importance of ethical conduct and accountability when it comes to corporate behavior. You know, it really showcases that in the darkest light.
And it's a sad thing because for people like us who, I don't ever use eBay. I think I've used it once in my lifetime, but it really does show that you don't want to support a company who might take legal action against you if you, or, you know, harass you with whatever they want to. So.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of things. Imagine if we started like, oh, Dunkin' Donuts is going to stop us. eBay, Walmart, like, all right, no more of those places.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, it is what it is. I hope the best for the signers, because they suffered a lot. Truly, they suffered a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about some local airborne news. I this is something I really wanted to talk about because we love talking about Airline stories a lot here.
Yeah. Well, that kind of screwed my mom over too. You know that, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, let's read the story and then you can kind of explain a little bit what happened.
Okay.
Here, you read the story while I kind of my computer's acting up a little bit.
Alaska Airlines' decision not to ground Boeing jet, despite warning signs of comes under scrutiny. Portland, Oregon. The decision by the Alaska Airlines to stop flying one of its planes over the Pacific Ocean to Hawaii due to the warnings from a cabin pressurization system. Yep, keep flying it over land. It is raising questions about whether the jet should have been in the air at all. The nation's top accident investigator says warning lights were triggered on 3 flights, including each of the 2 days before the brand new Boeing 737 MAX 9 suffered a terrifying fuselage blowout Friday night. Plug covering a spot left
Bruh.
for a emergency door tore off the plane as it flew 16,000 feet above Oregon. Jennifer Holm-Mendy, a chair of the National Transportation Safety Board, said the maintenance crews checked the plane and cleared it to fly, but the airline decided not to use it for the long route to Hawaii over the water so that it could return very quickly to the airport if the warning light appeared. Friday's flight was headed to Oregon to Southern California and made it back to the Portland without serious injury and to any of the 171 passengers and 6 crew members, but the decision to allow it to fly overland in the first place struck some aviation experts as illogical.
Damn. So
if you're afraid to take an airplane far from land, what is the reason for that? That has to be answered by Alaska Airlines, said Stephen Wallace, an air safety consultant and commercial pilot who once headed accident investigations for Federal Aviation Administration.
So kind of what happened? So what happened with your mom? Because it sounds like there are a lot of things are happening with these plane models. So what happened with your mom?
Why don't I read this little blip and then can I kind of understand? So
Okay.
Monday afternoon, United Airlines said it's found loose bolts and other insulation issues on door plugs that were inspected after the Alaska Airlines incident. So a lot of the plugs in the planes are loose, right? Or not pressurizing enough. So if you don't pressurize, you have a blowout, right? So a lot of these people are losing, it blows out. We have objects flying out of the plane. Have you heard about the phone that survived 15,000 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, what happened with my mom is that they grounded a lot of these Boeings, and so my mom was not able to fly home. And there was a scatter to find a flight home for my mom. Luckily, my mom was able to join my older brother and his son flying back from the Phoenix area to home to catch a flight there to get back home. Now to Southwest. Southwest doesn't have those planes. Yeah, so that was like a scatter, like, oh, crap. What do we do? We're going to be trying to find a way to get home, just like running a scatter, you know what I mean? It is absolutely scary for a lot of reasons. So.
Yeah, because in general, people, for the most part, people have the majority of people have a minor fear of flying. Something we all just like, you're up in the air, you're left to their devices. But these are the type of stories that give the people who have I forget what the name of
huge anxiety.
Yeah, like wow. It just
that just like credit to them. They're like, nope, another reason why I don't fly.
And it's very disheartening because that's what happens. And like it's in the back of our minds. It's one of those thoughts of like it could happen. Now it did happen, and then it's like, when will it happen? That's the thought process. And now they have to go through all these, like, what was the model of this plane? The Boeing 737 MAX 9.
MAX 9. Yeah.
Oh, and
MAX 9 is basically what they did was take the middle row out of the emergency entrance out, and they made more seats. So
yeah,
in essence, that's what it is.
But anyways, yeah.
I know most people have been on planes and be like, oh yeah, I've been on a huge plane, but there's been 3 exits on each side of the plane. So but they took those middle ones out and you only had the front and back.
The good thing, the positive thing of this incident is that at least no one was sitting in the seats that was blown out, and a lot of
actually they were a little bit of not like huge damages, but there were some minor injuries with them.
True.
And they definitely scared him. And then there was this kid that was apparently flying by himself.
Ooh. And I know,
and this woman helped him. That's another, that's a great thing about humanity is like sometimes people step up to the plate. Oh, this person's flying alone. That's, And
then apparently there was a few mothers with their babies that they were holding on to as well. So,
oh yeah, that's scary.
It is scary. It is a scary thought. And luckily they were just from, what was it, 1,600 feet or 16,000 feet to the point where don't take off your seatbelt yet. So people, yeah, like all of us, the second freedom from seatbelts, I'm not gonna die. Like, yeah, okay, I'm taking my seatbelt off, but boy, some of those people were lucky. So it sounds like they're going to be investigating this, and I don't know how I feel about kind of looking through this. That Boeing promised to assist with the findings of the inspections. Hopefully there is a third party looking into this, because there has been some cut corners, it looks like, and it's one of those things where this was, for the most part, very lucky. All things considered, it could have been way worse. I know the door. Someone found the door. Imagine if you found that in your backyard.
You gotta pay me a fee, man, to get it back. I ain't giving it to you. You gotta give me something for it.
This is gonna be a museum piece in my yard. Because
I'm leaving where it is, where it stands. Folks.
Because imagine that just because apparently from what I looked into a little bit, it ended up in their yard, just a couple feet away from their house. So that landing in your house.
I know that'd be a wake up call.
Alaska Air, or is it Alaska or United Air? But whatever, Alaska, whatever. They're paying for a new housing.
Maybe wait, hold on. The extra emergency doors. Oh, they have the extra emergency doors in the middle. So, okay, my bad. So this is the plane that actually has the middle emergency rows. So,
all right. So I think no, that's fine. I think,
but yeah, it is definitely a wake up call. How do you explain that to your insurance company? It lands on your house. A door landed in my house from an airplane. Do I get this covered? No. That was not covered by your insurance policy. You did not sign up for that coverage.
As far as this incident, coupled with the plane's troubled history and underscores the ongoing challenges in the aviation safety management that we talked about multiple times, and the critical need for stringent management, with so low of employment, that I can see how that's happening. And these inspection protocols and very loose, transparent communications among airlines, manufacturers, and regulatory bodies. This needs to be very, very tight knit so we can ensure passengers' safety, I think. And because this is a major wake up call. Sure, there's been accidents, planes quote crash. But it's just one of these things where people were continuously finding a vehicle that kept had the check engine light on, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can go a little bit more.
I'll fly home. We're good.
It can keep going.
We're already delayed our flights. It's fine.
Oh, wild. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Any final thoughts here?
Be cautious what kind of plane you're flying on next.
All right, let's we're gonna jump into the video, because I know I'm gonna dig Liz deeper into the pit of the online media, and I'm gonna join you guys too, because this is a part of the internet that I've dipped my pinky toe in, but have not really I get it, but I don't understand it. But yeah, we're gonna be watching a video as it's gonna be a cinnamon toast Ken video. and they will explain a little bit, and we'll put our 2 cents in it. So give us 1 second.
Hey, Mary is going to teach us about GorlWorld. She's made this big slide, this big presentation for us to go through and learn all the things that we don't ever know about. Because whenever we talk about these people, there's always people in the comments being like, Ken, you don't know the lore, the 10 years of information that you're missing. You don't have it, and it's just killing me inside that you don't know. So now we're going to know. This is intro to...
Do you know what GorlWorld is?
No, I don't.
Did you know this existed at all?
No.
Me, I have a, like I said, I dipped my toe into the world of GorlWorld, but not to the extent where we're about to jump into. I watched the first few minutes of the video. I'm like, this is gonna be a fun video for to watch with Liz and for all our listeners. But yeah, so we're gonna these like. When I see Cinnamon Toast Ken and Buff Bro together, they're usually talking about some weird things and stuff like TLC shows and things like that nature. And there's some characters in some people of the GorlWorld that we're going to jump into that they talk about, but it's one of those wild things where it's a whole separate part of the internet that we just don't know about, and I'm gonna subject Liz into more of it.
The GorlWorld, a brief summary by Mary, Ken's hot wife.
I love that in parentheses. Ken's hot wife.
That's right. Also in parentheses by the greatest YouTubers to ever live. That's right. All right, so first off, who are the Gorls? The Gorls. I got a question already for Mary. Why is it Gorls spelled like that?
As you can see at the bottom of the slide, fun fact, Amber named the GorlWorld as that's how she pronounces the word girl.
It's all there right in front of me. I felt like I just asked Mary where like the ketchup was. It's like sitting right there.
Yeah, I can. You're just still echoing.
Yeah, sorry. Hello, testing 1 2. Anyway, it's like
echoing. Like 2 mics are on. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, well, hopefully it'll fix itself in a little bit. But it's one of those things like here, just like I think all of us have been like, it's right in front of your face, right there. Like, when was the last time you made a PowerPoint presentation?
At high school, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, I miss those days. PowerPoints are fun. I kind of want to do one now, just for fun, something. Oh, maybe we should do that as a fun episode. Just like one of our interests, just make a PowerPoint, and we have to teach each other something, and teach our audience something. We'll talk about it. We'll talk it on the side. Okay.
For the refrigerator. All you gotta do is just move one thing, and it's like right there. You're like, oh, God dang it! That wasn't there before. I promise. All right. So who are the Gorls? You got Amberlynn Reed. She's the American queen of GorlWorld. She's the queen. Yeah. She's got the crown. She's got the tiara. Right. She's
well, we know her. Her. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Then you got foodie beauty Chantel Marie Al Raffay, Canadian queen of Gorl. She's the Canadian queen, which is like more like a duchess, Sorry, Canada.
So we got 2 leaders here. She's the co-leader.
Yeah.
The Canadian leader. All right.
Then the one that wishes they were the leader, which is Nick Avocado. Oh, Nick Avocado. We know him too.
Yep.
Hungry fat chick / Candy. Amy and Tammy from 1,000 Pound Sisters, right?
What?
Amy and Tammy were one of the original, the both of them were the original girls. They started their whole career here on YouTube. And then they were picked up. They took Amberlynn's whole dream being picked up by TLC, and now they're super famous outside of the GorlWorld.
Amberlynn Jelly.
Amy and Tammy.
Okay, all right. And then there's also the other.
So yeah, this is a whole space of individuals that TLC has made a bunch of. When was the last time you watched a TLC show? Wait, what is TLC? What was TLC originally?
It's been a hot minute.
What was TLC? TLC. No, the TLC.
I don't know what it was originally, but
the Learning Channel.
TLC.
The Learning Channel. That's what it was originally.
Was it?
I think that's what.
Oh, really?
Let me double check. I think that's.
Well, we weren't learning much. We were learning about the world, I guess.
Not before.
I saw blips of it. I haven't really watched TLC in a hot minute, and when we watched it briefly, yeah, My 600-Pound Life, I watched maybe a couple of episodes of that. Little People, Big World, a couple episodes of that. I haven't really watched it in a very hot minute.
It's literally called the Learning Channel. We're
learning about other people and their problems.
Liz, they're not problems. Don't judge people on that, okay?
Okay, how about their disabilities or
Liz, don't say that. There's certain things you can't say about certain people. Remember that. What we're learning, we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn
world that we have, the inept world to the access of the world to everyone.
Well, we're gonna learn about GorlWorld. Let's find out.
God.
Like channels that are like the lore masters, the GorlWorld professors, and this is some of the ones that Mary's listed. I'm sure there's more, but you got like Zachary, Michael, you got
and then there's that's the thing about what's interesting about the internet, YouTube, and just these spaces is that there are people who make these communities, and then there's people who make communities to talk about these communities, and it just becomes this potential career, right? Like, and I don't think as a kid when we were growing up this would ever have been a job. Like, there are jobs criticizing critics and things like that, news writers and things like that, but never to the extent where your job would be a commentator for GorlWorld.
Yeah, I know, right?
Was it Apathetic Facts, Karina Kaboom, Willow Davis, and then others.
There are other people, like there are more people than what I just listed as to who are the girls. So there are other people that these people talk about, but primarily their channels were created to talk about these people. Out of these guys, my favorites obviously are Beast to Beast. I've already told you guys how much I love
Beast to Beast. He's
fantastic. He doesn't talk about pretty much anyone other than Amberlynn and Hungry Fat Chick. Out of the GorlWorld, I mean. Although he has talked about Amy and Tammy before. But he does a lot of stuff outside of the GorlWorld. But Zachary Michael, Apathetic Facts, Karina Kaboom, Willow Davis, Alice is Shook, and Mr. Snowflake, that is their bread and butter. Like, the GorlWorld is how they make their living. So they are the experts. I am definitely not a GorlWorld professor. I am just a
connoisseur.
Yeah, there we go.
A connoisseur.
That's a shout.
You gotta love that. GorlWorld professor. That's your title. What's your title, Liz? What is your title?
Convoluted princess.
Out all those channels, and then more if you wanna get some more people that get more juicy and deep into it. So why do we care? A lot of people watch the GorlWorld in the same way they watch reality TV. But instead of being produced and edited by TLC, GorlWorld content is produced in its very own stars. Each girl has their own show and they have their own audience, the quite a bit overlap, and they all occasionally interact with each other. So I guess that's why they're the GorlWorld, because they like kind of there's crossovers.
All connected.
That makes sense. It's entertainment for someone. We've done it. People watch reality TV shows. It's nothing new. It's just now, instead of being a big company producing it, it's just you and me, like how we do the show. It's just us producing our own show, which I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. There is a lot of crossover.
They're gang.
The gang, yeah. There's usually just the plot, lots of unexpected twists and turns, funny side characters. I it's usually separate time periods from the GorlWorld into specific eras or shows. In the whole eras thing is getting on my nerves. Like, this is my blah era. Like, era. I just throw stuff in there and let autocorrect get me. It's like, what is an era? You know, a long and distinct period of history, you know, and I guess that makes sense. But like a long, that part, people are like, this is my era. They do something for like a week. You know, it's like, shut up. It's just like breaking, like people say breaking the internet. Oh, it makes me cringe to my core.
Unless you got Comcast. You never know when you got Comcast.
unless you're Wreck-It Ralph, you know, then you break the internet literally. Life in the girl world tends to move in cycles. And even when things seem to go completely sideways, it almost always ends exactly where it began, the endless cycle. This predictability makes it easy for the audience to make guesses as to what will happen next. And it's also drawn viewers back in after years after they decide to stop watching. Oh, but we got a trigger warning down here. Trigger warning. Right. Things have gotten very dark in the girl world before, with serious allegations of domestic violence, animal abuse, and drug and alcohol abuse. For the most part, things are lighthearted, but that always isn't the case. All right. So the first person, we're going to get we got a summary of the people that we listed here. And then in the future videos, Mary's going to teach us more in depth about.
So you ready to jump into we're going to be jumping into the girl world in the near future. What are your thoughts?
All right.
So what are your thoughts?
I'm already triggered.
So what are your just initial thoughts before we kind of get this like a little brief introduction of this space on the internet? Because we have some bonus episodes we have on the side that are going to be niched, but there's a niche of kind of a more public facing sector of communities. What are your thoughts when you're hearing these things or talking about it? What's coming to mind?
I don't know what to expect. I have a feeling. Because if I am correct, I have an idea who the TLC people got to take those two big girls, My 600-Pound Life, I think. That was something that's really towards obesity and gorging themselves. I feel like that's what it is. But if there's like a lot of good things going on, I don't understand. So
there, like they mentioned earlier, there's a lot of things that happen in the back because it's like a reality TV show. Well, let's find out. Let's find out a little bit more
about each person. So the first person we got here is Amber Lynn Reed, right? Amber is a weight loss vlogger who has documented 11 years of failed diets, plus size clothing hauls and new days. She built an audience who supported and cared for her, and then lied to and disappointed that audience to the point of resentment. There are many more serious allegations regarding Amber, including the neglect of her pets and abuse of her girlfriends. We can't play the audio because of the music, but yeah, she's that's been her weight loss journey right there.
Wow. She started that journey somewhere, but she ended up she's like close to Narnia or something, bro. She's like
I mean, when I first found
what are your initial thoughts of the first GorlWorld character in this world?
I feel like she's doing it for attention. Because that's the way the description of it is, for attention. Like she purposely does this for a reason. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's kind of what people do online. They want. That's what people are online for. They want a level of attention.
Her weight loss journey has gone the opposite direction. It's never gone down. It looks like it always went up.
Found Amber, like when I was a little Am baby, I was fully rooting for her, and I feel like most people who stumble across Amber Lynn, or even who see these kinds of videos that are criticizing Amber or talking about Amber in any way, they say like, well, what is the issue? What is this terrible thing? She's just trying to do her best to better her health, which, yeah, that's why I liked her in the beginning. That's why most people like her. She's funny and she's pretty and she's out there saying she wants to better herself and better her health. And everybody is really supportive of that. And then you find out that's not actually what she's doing. She self-sabotages a lot. There is, like I said in the earlier slide, a lot of more serious allegations about how she treats the people and animals in her life. But most people who see Amber in the beginning really do want, and even now, I really do want what is best for Amber.
So what you're saying is...
Okay, but what are your thoughts with her kind of explanation why she was... Because it makes sense. You want to support someone who's trying their best. You know, I agree with that.
I'm all for supporting your best. I'm all for, doing your best. But what's frustrating is that if she self-sabotages, she's doing it. She's easily a manipulator. Right off the bat. That's what came across. Manipulation. Like, she's manipulating people. She's manipulating her circumstances, her determination. She's not really doing... Yes, yeah. I'm all for people getting the better, but if they're just like, you're like, okay.
Is if we see anybody in the comments that's trying to like be mad about it, then we know they're new. We know they're new. You're like, you don't know yet. you don't know what's going on. You don't know the story, which we don't know either. That's why we're here to learn. All right. So the next person in the girl world is Chantel the Foodie Beauty. Chantel's channel began with the makeup tutorials and quickly moved to the world of mukbangs, story time, and vlogs. God, I have
You know what a mukbang is, right? At least.
It's overeating, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Mukbangs were a style of videos for the most part. It kind of turned into that sense of overeating, but it's not really that. It is a style of video where you're eating in front of a camera, like if it was you and me, and you would watch someone as they chat, and kind of felt like you had someone you're eating lunch or meal with. So it's like you're there with them. And then it turned into something else, because then people started going outrageous with it. And that's kind of where the kind of the stigma of what mukbangs are now, like these overindulged things. But yeah, originally it was just like having a meal with a friend, as they just kind of talk about random stuff. You're like, oh, like, we were doing, like, if we were having lunch and we were just talking like on the podcast, it's just like, that would be considered a mukbang if we were just having lunch and just like, yeah, that's crazy. And like, oh, just read a quick comment, things like that. I think that would be considered a mukbang, because you're eating in front of a camera to your audience. But yeah, like it's been kind of bastardized in that sense, where your thought of what a mukbang is what most people see nowadays.
Mukbang is like the dumbest trend, I guess. Was it even really a trend?
It was a trend.
Yeah,
Kind of.
It's its own genre, and it definitely became trendy and popular to do in about 2017. That's when it really picked up.
We need to bring that back, Liz.
And now it's kind of
we got to do one
out
mukbang
of style in the Western world. Like, some people still do them.
Yes.
People make money from them still.
We got to make
but
that
it's
money,
no
make that
longer
moolah.
trendy, I would say.
My opinion of mukbangs has always been it has like an underlying like fetish.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
that's the other
almost
thing.
like ASMR. Like people be like, I use ASMR to sleep. But then like you got the ASMR videos where like it's like a hot chick with like a microphone with an ear on it, and she's like,
That's a whole other kind of worms.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, right. It's similar veins for me looking at it. Mukbangs are just people are just like, yeah. It's the feeders, like, yeah, eat that. Yeah, fatty, eat that food. Yeah. Oh, boy. Do it again next week, too. Moving on. She is also a live streamer who has documented some of the most extreme self-humiliation that I personally have witnessed on YouTube. There is a lot of fart, shart, burp, and vomit content.
There's a lot.
Bruh.
So she's kind of like the more realistic version of Nick Avocado then, I guess.
Right, with the burps and the sharts and the.
I would say that with Nick, it seems more like an act. With Chantel, everything seems very genuine. All cards are laid on the table.
That is crazy.
With Chantel.
Now that I don't smell like a bag of farts anymore and a bologna and cheese sandwich. Oh my God, you guys.
Hilarious.
I don't know if that's good, if that's better or worse, Kenny.
We're going to get to Nick, but you know how I felt about him already, even before.
What are your thoughts of this character they're developing for their audience?
I don't understand. Why would you, like, I don't know. I feel like the humiliation is so bad in here. Like, it's sad.
We're just getting kind of cliff notes at this point. Like I said, we're not doing a full dive. That would take us hours of this. And we're kind of exploring it with Cinnamon Toast Ken and Buff Pro here, and to like I said, we're just dipping our toes. I dipped my pinky, and now we're dipping our toes with Liz to see how the water is. And how's the water at the moment, Liz?
Grossly gross. Like,
Come on, it's not.
shirts, apparently.
It's not that. It's
like
not,
an exploding toilet.
We're like learning about this stuff.
too
Oh, he's like a character based off of all these people, but he's just gone too far. He's a method actor, you know. He's okay. I guess we'll learn more about like this stuff down here in a future episode. Man, it's sounds pretty serious. Wow. Moving on to the next one. We got old Nick Avocado.
this is who I know.
God dang it.
We know this guy.
Yeah, we know this one.
I know
Anyways,
that guy.
old Nick
We do
began
one
his
with him.
YouTube career playing the violin and
What's up?
Didn't we have him on the show at one point? I think we did a blip about him once upon a time.
Yeah, I think we talked about him doing
In one of
something.
our convoluted yeah, I just don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I
remember
think
him.
something
His
happened.
name sounds awfully familiar.
Nick Avocado. What a name. You gotta have a name that pops off on the internet, definitely. But yeah, I think we did a story with it. I would have to go back. We talk about so much. But we might have, but yeah, like maybe because like I said, this is where my toe's been dipped in because he's been in a lot of talks with a lot of people that I watch content with, and he's been spoken about through those guys' content. So that's how I know of him. Like I think I've watched one or two videos of him making kind of a response video to some stuff. There's one of those things when someone you watch talks about another person, and then there's like there's a lot, but yeah, this is someone who I've seen things about.
vlogging about his international romance with now husband Orlin. Made a lot of vegan content as both he and Orlin were dedicated to the lifestyle and had met one another in Facebook group for vegan men. In a vlog 2016, Nicholas denounced the vegan lifestyle after expressing his frustration that he was never vegan enough, which sounds like a vegan problem, to keep everyone happy. It's like, I'm eating this is vegan, and then someone's like, oh, but by the way, did you know that there's a ingredient in there that's not vegan that no one knows about? And everybody goes, what can I eat? He was also facing health issues that he believed could have been linked to his restrictive dieting. Nicholas began making mukbangs. He was one of the only American men to do so. His content became more and more extreme as the volume of food he consumed increased. So did his dramatic antics. Like the Nick Avocado is definitely a character, 100%. It's not. Oh, it's not him. Yeah. It's at 1,010% a character, but a very dangerous one. While some feedback in his comments was negative, his views increased with each act of self-humiliation. The lines between the real Nick and the character he created have become so blurred it's difficult to distinguish who's who. Recently, it seems he's on a healthier path. Back last year, the year before last, I think, Nick and
that's one of those things. It's like, for the most part, we're genuine when it comes to the show. For the most part, we play up a little bit just for the show, just to make it a little bit more fun. We can say that. But there are moments for certain people who make content that develop characters for their online persona, and some people sometimes just don't know who's real and who's not sometimes, and it can just really blur the line, and that's where it becomes really scary. Like we could be complete like a-holes on this show and just be super negative about everything, and we can just be very negative to each other, just that type of podcast host where we just like berate each other because that's good for content, right? But then it becomes to that point where it's like, where does the real person go to? Where's the character, you know?
Yeah.
Oompaville, they were making videos together, and all of a sudden they even had like a podcast, and then we made a video talking about it, and I was pointing out how like Oompaville was getting all these views and all these subscribers, and then comparing it to Nick Avocado, and he wasn't like really getting anything from it. He's getting a little bit, but it was like heavily in favor of Oompaville.
Of Oompa, yeah,
because of the spectacle, and he was like becoming the person that you're watching Nick through, and a short time after that, they stopped. I don't know, Dane, if I caused something to happen or what, but you know.
Wow. Well, there goes your collab with Nick. Right out the window, kid.
Oh man, maybe someone watched my video and went, you know what? He's right. Why am I not getting all the stuff from this? Why is he making all the money? You know, he's making. Dude, that had to be a conversation. I don't know for sure, but
you think it was? And I wish to be a fly on the wall.
It's suspicious.
You know what I mean?
It's definitely sus. But again, I don't know anything to speak on it. Maybe maybe they had a falling out. Maybe they just decided to go their separate. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to the next person. We got hungry fat chick Candy Godiva. What a name. Or is it Godiva? Like, I don't know. What is
Godiva?
Godiva?
Godiva.
That's how I pronounce
These
it.
pronounce it.
Once again, naming convention. When that is your online name, right? That's when it becomes wild.
Is it Godiva?
Yeah.
Hungry fat chick, though. That should be like my first
That
name.
is that's pretty catchy. When you hear like, who are you talking about?
guys, it's me,
I know who you're talking about.
Always hungry. Stay hungry. All right, let's learn about her. Candy is a former adult fetish model who has created eating and other fetish content on the internet since 2002. Her channel was created to be a food review channel, but was abandoned until mukbangs became main. All these people just did mukbangs.
Yeah,
they were
that
like,
makes sense.
finally, it's my time. Oh man! After which she found her home within the niche. You know, it's also our time, Dane. You know,
Yeah.
it's also our time. Like content creation has been moving more to like your PG kind of stuff. Like you still got that kind of crazy things that people go watch, but just in general, YouTube is it looks like they're frowning on it. It just gets less and less views. Even stuff that we did, like we had that video to where like the husband wants to be breastfed by his wife. That video, as funny as it was, is just too much on that sexual side, and it just doesn't do well anymore. And like people unsubscribe when you upload that stuff now. Like people that watch us. Yep. So yeah, we just got to keep it. We need to go back to what we used to do.
Well, we're just gonna do what we want.
Running series,
Like,
just go find something that's funny and dumb on the
I know.
internet and just laugh
Nobody
about
gets
it,
us enough
and then
views.
move on about our day. You know, Big Ed. People are done with Big Ed. People are done with all this stuff, and it's our time, Dane. It's our time.
It is. It really is. And the internet, you know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, it's moving towards what we already do. Hence why we are the greatest YouTubers. You know?
We're the best. We're the best.
And we're taking from the greatest
There's
YouTubers.
just so many people that are trying to do. I swear on my Twitter, every time I look, it's just like some streamer that's doing something dumb to get attention constantly.
We've talked about that. We've talked about that,
man. It's just like, okay.
Tell me you saw the drama alert garbage like today.
Today, what happened today?
Drama alert had the Island Boys
The Island
said
Boys.
something about some brotherly love, and they're just making out, like a picture of them just making out.
I saw that like, Kick apologized for posting that and then said they fired the person that does that job, and then they made a joke later like still got the password. It was just a marketing thing. It's just
Crazy,
anyway.
dude.
Wild.
Yeah, that is a big difference between Candy and the other girls here, is that Candy has never hid the fact that she's a fetish model. Like she's always done these kinds of videos. Nikocado, clearly, obviously, and we'll go into more depth with that later, is doing fetish work. But he really wants it to not appear like that. He really wants it to be like, this is just comedy. This is just all for the ha-has and hee-hees.
The guy's OnlyFans too, you know?
He does. Chantel, a lot of her stuff, it's clearly like either for her own fetishes with the self-humiliation, like some people are into humiliating themselves publicly and they get off on it.
That's a
or
whole
she's
nother level.
being paid by other people to self-humiliate like that online, because it's not regular behavior. And out of all of these people, I personally cannot stand to watch Chantel or Nick ever myself. I watch content regarding them through other people, like through the screen, in the same way that a lot of people will watch TLC through the most handsome, best YouTubers in the world, Cinnamon Toast Can and Buff Pro. They cannot stand to watch MILF Manor on their own. That's how I feel about watching Chantel and Nick and Amber on occasion. And Candy, I'm just not Candy's intended audience.
You're welcome. All right. You're well. The way that you feel when you're watching that by yourself, that's how we feel. And then we got to make it funny. So subscribe and like and do all the stuff because, all right.
Exactly. I think that's a good way to end that. Give us 1 second, everyone. All right, we're back. Yeah, it's one of those things where definitely we are definitely not their intended audience. And like we were talking, we are not their intended audience. right? But it is an audience nonetheless, and it's a section of the online space that we don't touch. Like I said, I have a little bit, but that's because of controversies and stuff like that, because of people that I watch talk about these people, and just what with the presentation that we got from Ken's wife. What are your just initial thoughts of GorlWorld?
Not my not my niche, not my field of watch. It's not something I'd be interested in. I have no intention that not to like diss on them. That's their thing. That's what they make the money. I just preferably, that's not my thing. Like, I think about overeating, and I'm like, I think about it on a daily struggle. It's my own personal struggle. Like, I'm overeating. I need to stop doing that. I think that would be hard for me to watch, because it would make me a cringe, just internally, mentally, spiritually, physically, because it's not my life goal. My goal is to be healthy and be able to do a lot of things in life. I don't ever want to be limited. So I like to travel. I like to explore and venture. I do love to eat, but I also know that it comes with, I need to restrict myself to having one nice meal a day, or really enjoying really quality food every once in a while. Not always going out every day and eating out, Unfortunately, we can't leave right now because it's snow and ice, and everybody doesn't know how to drive in it. And if they do, they're assholes.
Yeah, definitely. And we're not gonna be diving anymore, but at least I was able to get your foot wet a little bit doing other thing. But we're gonna be diving into some interesting topics in some of the bonus episodes that Liz might not be very comfortable with. But I think we both agreed that we're just gonna kind of like jump headfirst in some of these. To not only just educate ourselves, but to see how squeamish we will get with each other. But this is kind of this is a little bit lighter taste of some of the bonus episodes that we're gonna be doing. So this is like a taste that you guys had. So I hope you guys enjoyed kind of a taste, because this is a little bit lighter, even though it's a no pun intended big topic.
I think the pun was intended.
I didn't, but I just had to do it. It is a section of the internet that is very divisive. It has characters. It has people that go at each other. There's drama. There are allegations, and then there's just these things of health and things of that nature, right? That you were talking about earlier. But then there are the audience. As an audience, there are people who are watching them to succeed or fail, or just make a mess of themselves. And definitely it is content nonetheless, and not content for us, but content for someone. And yeah, I think that's kind of really. Any final closing thoughts for you?
Well, I really hope for the best for them. I hope they really figure it out what they want in life, and maybe they have, and that's their niche, and that good on them if they're making money and doing what they love, and good on them. That's not my thing. I hope for the best. That's all. And obviously, we're not doing any mukbangs lately, anytime soon.
How about if we get how many likes on a YouTube video?
20. That seems feasible. 20 feasible if we're gonna do a mukbang.
Okay. 20. You guys heard that? 20 likes on this YouTube video, and we'll come up with a mukbang, a gluten-free, lactose-free mukbang. I'm as much as I want to torture Liz. Yeah, we gotta make it a little enjoyable. Mukbangs are supposed to be enjoyed. You gotta enjoy the food you're eating, at least, right? So yeah, 20 likes, and we'll figure out a mukbang episode. That'll be fun, But yeah, 20 likes. Okay, everyone, thank you again for listening or watching. It's fun. Liz, thank you for joining me on this, because you can't really do anything else apparently. But yeah,
snow day.
Snow day. How often do we get snow days as adults, right? Actually,
yeah, I know,
the
right?
kids don't even get snow days anymore because there's online. People just do like they say, "Oh, snow day." Nope, sign in. That's a thing now.
Oh, actually, no. My
Some
kiddo
places-
has not done that.
Some people do.
Some
like,
places, yes.
yeah, but it's one. It just ruins it now. The idea. That's a whole other topic. We can jump into, but that kind of sucks. The idea of snow days. Well, you grew up in California, so you didn't have.
I never had a snow day. There was not even a fire day, not an earthquake day. There was
Oh god, the snow days.
Oh, it's raining. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Like, yeah, there was no like ending of school. That's just 300 days of school, and here you are.
Oh man, snow days in Chicago were amazing. Like we still went to school when there was like a foot of snow, but sometimes you're a little too much. Is like you got those blizzards. Like stay home. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, thank you guys, everyone. Don't forget to share the show. Join me and maybe Liz every once in a while on a live stream. And look forward to our bonus episodes. We'll be getting all that stuff ready. I hope you enjoyed the show. So everyone, until next time, see ya.
Bye.